Okay. Okay. Up here comes Hugh.
I'm going to try to stay uh on task. Like I'm very like, oh, here's a story and here's a story. And they're great stories, but also you guys have an hour-ish. So I will do my best.
All right, so we are anticipating, let me just double check who we have here.
Okay.
Um, hey, Hugh, do you know if Brianna's coming? I think you might be in the place of Brianna.
I was muted, sorry. She's supposed to be here, Brianna, and
I don't have a remote for this. So, do I have it set up though? Probably not.
I'll text
And
her
also,
just
will I
in
get
case.
distracted by all my notifications? Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good idea. We'll figure that one out later. It's all good. Really? Never played with that. I do love me some Canva, but not you did yours, right? Or did the Canva you were gonna do the Canva, you did it. Yeah. So I was thinking this is a good follow-up to that.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. We've got quite a few folks on the Zoom, and we've got 6 of us here in person. So, good morning. This is Jennifer from the Central Rhode Island Chamber. We're here with Nicole Eller from the Spark Social. We're going to be talking about using ChatGPT and GoHighLevel to save time, stay organized, and follow up faster. A couple of things from us. Most of you are chamber members, so we appreciate it, and we're excited to have some guests as well. If you are not signed up for our events email, please drop me a note in the chat or directly message me, because these are all listed in there, and we have a full lineup of education sessions coming the rest of the summer into the fall. So I'm going to turn this over to Nicole.
If anybody is in the Zoom in person as well, they're hearing a very challenging echo. And I don't know if it's just, I don't know which computer it might be, or if it's just because.
Is it better now?
Is it, yeah. Is it better now, team on? I don't hear it when Nicole's speaking. Okay. So I think I must have had my thing. So we're better now. We have a couple of computers going here. So hi, my name is Nicole Eller. I am a co-founder of the Spark Social, and we're going to talk about using ChatGPT and GoHighLevel. How many in the chat and in person here are familiar with ChatGPT, large language models, AI in general? Okay. Have you actually used them or use them regularly in your business? Okay, awesome. And so this is going to be a little bit of both. I'm going to try to find a good balance between people who've never touched it before. Have any of you heard of GoHighLevel? It's an automations program. Okay. So that one is definitely something that I think if you're not in marketing, you're probably not as used to, but we'll do a little bit of kind of a high level look, and I have a couple of demos that we're going to do. All right. It's going to let me do it. Yes. Okay. So the point of today is to help teach you how to save time and avoid, decision fatigue, because obviously there's lots of AI options out there. There's lots of automation options. Automation has been around for like decades. I mean, AI has also been around for decades, but obviously wasn't mainstream until all of a sudden ChatGPT burst on the scene. And if you are familiar, you have a lot of choices to make. So I'm going to try to help you figure out how to make those choices. We're also going to talk a little bit more about capturing and closing more leads. That's what these programs can help you do. That's simplifying your marketing, growing your revenue, and kind of going over all of the different things that you can do as high level and as deep as you ask me to be. So please keep those questions in mind. I don't mind if we stop to ask questions. We can also make sure there's plenty of time at the end. And I have a lot of bonuses for today. So who am I? I'm a mom, a wife. Most of the people here know that or know me in some capacity. I also enjoy anime and books. This is more for people who've never met me before. I'm gonna have a really hard time because I don't have a camera, so Jennifer's just gonna keep pointing to me. So let me know if I end up off camera, guys. I'm also really into gardening, baking, and sleep is wonderful right now. My daughter is 3, and I'm just getting back to the point where I can get some real sleep. All right, who's the Spark? We're a digital first, social first digital marketing agency. So just kind of give you a little bit of like, we do know what we're talking about. We play with this stuff every day. We use it for ourselves, our clients. If you need to learn more about us, we have several different websites you can visit. The Spark.social, Spark Pro Marketing, which is our home services branch, and the Spark Assist, which deals specifically with our AI and automations branch of the work that we do. So why does it matter? Obviously, everyone in the room, and I think a lot of the people online said you're already using and dipping into some of these AI tools, but if you're not yet, you're already a little bit behind. It's not to be scared of. AI can sound scary. I know when it first came out, I was a part of a lot of conversations about Skynet and Terminator and things like that. We're not even anywhere close there. It's still pretty dumb compared to what it would need to be in order to get to that stage. And we'll talk a little bit about why you still are smarter than your AI and you have to be. But most small businesses are in the stage of losing leads because they're owner operator. So you are the business owner, you can't answer the phone and do the work that you need to do. Depending on what business you're in, that could be because you're meeting with clients. It could be because you're literally putting in a fence or building a bouquet. But there are some options here that are going to show you that there are opportunities with AI and automations combined. So AI powered automations that can make your lives more easier. There is misspelling. I'm so sorry. Just noticing that now. I'm so sorry. We're going to do that repeatedly. More tools doesn't necessarily equal more time, but we are going to talk about a tech stack, a marketing stack, and what you need that will help you rather than overwhelm you. So we have 3 rules that we use when we're picking an AI tool. This is actually something that we use when we're picking any marketing tool. It should should make you more money than it costs. It should save you time, and it should be simple to implement and use. If there's not some simplicity to implementing it, walk away because it's going to be a waste of time. Or hire someone to help you get it set up and use it. So as I asked before, most of the people in the room raised their hands when they said that they understood large language models, AI workflows. Is she talking on the Zoom? No, okay, perfect. So that is Samantha. That is the Sparks AI. She is completely AI created through a company called Captions.ai. Something that you guys can play with if you want to. Samantha is also part of GoHighLevel. She answers our phone. She has saved me hours and hours of work having to answer the phone and listen to the Google services message. So my favorite thing is to get the script from into our email of Samantha and the Google AI bot, because it's obviously like a recording, talking back and forth because they have like these conversations. Did you have a question?
Can you change her name?
Oh, yes. So inside of GoHighLevel, you can name her, and I can kind of show you where that is. One of the freebies that you'll have here is access to GoHighLevel. I will send out a link at the end, like later this afternoon with access to that. And there's an opportunity for a group session next week or the week after, kind of whatever works for everyone, to actually go through the process of setting that up and seeing what that looks like. There's also a guide if you can't wait that long. And there's lots and lots of YouTube videos and training on how to use GoHighLevel itself. But the reason I bring this up is because you have so many choices with AI. So ChatGPT is the most popular one. It is also very user-friendly. However, it does have some challenges. So some of my favorites for other things, I love Gemini because I love how easy it is to make charts and use Google Sheets and Google Docs with it. ChatGPT will tell you that you can create a Google Doc, but then when you go to click on the link, it's like, the link is not found. And you're like, well, wonderful. So I never use it that way. I always just have it format things for me, and then I paste it over and I fix it myself. I put perplexity here because perplexity, I'm going to go through what a hallucination is, but perplexity doesn't hallucinate as much as ChatGPT does. And so when you're doing deep research, I like to do my deep research in perplexity and get as much information. It also does the same thing as what Google has a people also ask. And so what it does is as you ask your questions, it's kind of like when you're searching on Google and you go to the people also ask, which I highly recommend using for content and seeing what people are actually asking. Perplexity will continue to give you deeper questions so that you can build a nice flow to the content that you're writing or creating, whatever you're scripting, that kind of thing. And I will talk a little bit about Canva magic and what I like about it and what I hate about it. It to help with our emails and kind of nailing the tone, or like we have maybe an angry customer, like, what do I do? How do I handle this? It's phenomenal for that, but you do have to know your inputs. You really have to understand what you are trying to input in here. I will send the slides after the meeting. Sorry, I just want to scoot this a little if I can. Boop, sorry. Okay, oh, can't scoot it that much. Sorry. Oh, went too far. Okay, so what is a hallucination in terms of ChatGPT and large language models, any sort of generative AI? It's most known, I feel like, through ChatGPT. We all know that we've put in, can you make me a flyer that has this date, blah, 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 and it gives you like, one of mine was, it insisted that July 30th was a Tuesday, and I was like, absolutely is not, it is a Wednesday, and I was like, no, it's a Tuesday, and I was like, you need to correct yourself, it's a Wednesday. I'm looking at the calendar right now. And that is exactly how I speak to my AI. I speak to it, I'm very polite, I treat it like an intern, I'm like, okay, nope, you're wrong, and this is why you're wrong. So the phenomenon is basically just it's going to give you nonsensical, false, or inaccurate information, but it's going to insist that it's factual and correct. It's your job to ask for references, ask for sources, ask for links. Never, ever, ever, especially if it's sensitive information like legal, financial, or mental health advice or any sort of medical advice. Never take it at face value. You need to follow up with a professional resource. So a good example in my own life is an employee works remotely all around the world, filed a certain piece of paperwork, and I was like, oh God, what is this? My accountant wasn't available right away. And I said, all right, went into a chat, said, this is for research purposes only. I will not be using this for any other reason. I just want to know what this is, what it means, and what I need to be on the lookout for. I had a full conversation, followed up with my accountant later when he was finally able to email me back, and everything that it told me was correct. And it helped me position with my employee. It also helped me write an international remote policy for the Spark. So now we have one of those because I never thought about it. And that's where it's beneficial, but I absolutely made sure that I had that legal advice. I actually went to payroll and my accountant before I moved forward. I did find out from someone that they had asked a very particular question that had to do with taxes, and they got the wrong answer, and it was very costly for them. Do not trust AI to do that for you. That is not something that you want to do. So we're going to talk a little bit about prompting. It's very important that you build a good relationship with your AI chats, whether it's in one particular AI or if you have different personalities in each chat that you use. So an example of this is I get the benefit on my team of just using my ChatGPT for me. But my team uses it for a variety of different reasons. They do a lot of research, a lot of editing and things like that, a lot of ideation for various clients. And all of our clients know that we use an element of ChatGPT. It's not doing all of the writing, but it is helping us smooth things down and kind of move a little bit faster. So you're fact checking, you're giving clear single prompts. If you feel like you didn't get the right answer, you back up and you start shorter with it, because I speak in a stream of consciousness and my AI is now used to that from me. But it doesn't work when you're just starting. Like Alicia and my chats are completely different, and she can sometimes not get her answer, and I usually will get the answer I need because I have finessed my relationship and my conversation so much that I have a very it nails me. Like I'm always like, this is amazing. Sorry. Yes, I can. All right, so I picked this one. I don't use these myself necessarily. I do a version of this, but everybody has a different, there's like rise, risen, create, craft. They're all things to remember when you're creating a prompt. I liked craft because I felt like it kind of gave the most information. It was easy word to remember and easy to, is a mnemonic. I can never remember what these are called. But so it's context, role, action, format, and tone. So these are all important things to remember when you are working with your ChatGPT. Am I on? Okay. So you want to provide as much information to the chat as possible to get exactly what you need. This is one of those situations where you don't want to give creativity to the chat bot in this situation. Okay. You want to be very, very specific and very, very guided. So if you've ever worked with interns, you know that there are some projects that you can let them have fun with and you can let them go. And there are some projects where you're like, I need it. This is the guideline, this is the SOP, and this is what I need from you. Chat is the intern that always needs the guideline, or you're not going to get what you're looking for. So you want to define a role. My favorite thing to do is just tell it that it's an expert in whatever. It doesn't matter. Here the examples are kind of silly, but I will actually get really deep, and I will say you are an expert in HVAC marketing, brand writing, and copy for conversion, or something along those lines, and get really specific if I need something really specific from it. You can also kind of set that tone at the beginning of a chat that you have built out with so if you're not familiar with ChatGPT, and I'll give a quick demo, that clock is not correct. It's not moving. So just keep me on time. But if you're not familiar with chat at all, you have your GPTs, which you can custom create, or you can use custom created by other people. And they're all rated, so just be careful and keep an eye on the ratings and what's good about them and what's not. But I have created custom GPTs. It's fairly simple. It's still a process, a learning process. But a good example is a client of ours actually created one. They write their own content and we do a lot of their advertising. And they have it shared amongst their team. So they call it their brand whisperer. And it's got all the brand information. Anytime we make a change to the brand, they upload it to this GPT, and everyone can access it to ask questions and get the brand voice sort of aligned. It's not perfect, but it is aligned. Sorry. So inside of that, what you want to do is you're building that relationship in either a GPT or a specific chat. So most of us probably just open ChatGPT, go to the main chat that says, what do you do? What do you want to do today? And start a new conversation. What I would caution you is don't start a new conversation every time. Organize your chats based on what you're doing. So when we go in, I can show you that I have chats for content, for this type of content, for this target audience, for this, that, or whatever. I also have them for helping me pick my outfits every day because I was not very confident coming back from maternity leave. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Is this even like, is this even stylish? It's 5 years old. I haven't shopped in ages. Like, help. And I also have some for my garden because I love to garden, and it's a whole thing. Anyway, my team once logged into Canva and was like, why is there a whole garden layout in Canva right now? And I was like, don't ask. I'm putting it in a random folder. Just pretend that folder doesn't exist. So you're also clearly stating what you need from ChatGPT, and you can get really specific here. You can say, I need it to be like, 30 to 50 words or 300 to 500 words. I need it to be SEO, friendly. I need it, and you still have to check that, but I need it to be SEO friendly. I need it to be, and get as specific as possible about what output you want so that you get exactly what you need. Because otherwise it's just going to guess, and it's not going to get it right. You want to specify your format. Like I said, are we asking for a list? Do we need, and not just a list, do you need a bullet point list? Do you need a checklist? Do you need, do you need it formatted, centered? What kind of list, what kind of paragraph, what kind of information do you need? And then a tone. So if you haven't built up your personal brand voice inside your chat, you're just going to give it some background. I encourage you, if you're comfortable with it, and never upload proprietary information from your clients or from your business that's sensitive information that you don't have permission to upload. But if you have blogs that you've written and like any sort of content that you personally have written or that's like on brand for the whatever you're doing, upload it, because it does help. You can upload it and then ask it for kind of a synopsis about your brand. One of the prompts that I'll give out later is about kind of brand voice and kind of trying to attain that. It's not perfect, and you really have to continue that conversation. So if you do have trouble with it, I'm happy to have that conversation with you. So that was a lot on how to prompt. So what we're going to do here is use the craft method on your own business. What's a real question or task you give ChatGPT this week? You can write this down if you're on the Zoom. You can also do this. I did drop a link for it. You can do it in your Word doc. We're just going to take like a minute or two and just think about what you would actually do. Because yes, I'm trying to make this a workshop style. So if you have nothing, that's okay. Or if you have something that you've already done, also okay. But I am going to see if anybody wants me to test their prompt their question or their task. So I'll try not to talk through this whole 2 minutes. Are there any questions in the chat?
Will you be sending the slides after the meeting?
Yes. Am I talking too fast? Yes. Sorry.
If I haven't organized them, am I able to go back and organize them?
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, you can rename you can rename your chats, and then you can kind of redefine. You can just say, you can actually tell chat, I am redefining this chat to be more aligned with XYZ. So as we move forward, let's make sure that we we're working on this. So that's how I would do it. If it's everything in one chat, you're probably going to need to be a little bit more specific. Let's pull everything about X topic, so I can create a new chat with it. I did actually ask it when your chat starts to slow down, like some of you probably have noticed, like if you get a lot of information in one chat, it'll slow down immensely processing wise. You actually just say, hey, I'm going to create a new chat. Please remember all this information and take it to the next chat with me. If there's anything I need to take with me, please give me a prompt for the new chat. Then you get out of that chat, start a new chat with the new prompt, let it know it'll actually say, like, just tell me that we're coming back in to do XYZ. And I've had to do that 4 or 5 or 6 times for some of my content chats, because we write so much content. And I love having validation. Validation makes me happy, and ChatGPT is very good at validation. So
as a follow-up to the question about organizing the prompts, Heather asks, would I group them in projects?
So you can group them in projects. There are some limitations to projects. I like to group my stuff in projects. But if it's not,
you're going to show us this, because
I will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me. So we're gonna do a little demo. And I'm actually. Let me just. Okay. Well, before we jump into the demo, what's the other question?
The other question is, how can you link your email account with the chat response and program it to auto forward items that are not yours?
That is an excellent deeper question. That's better done in your email client. I would not trust chat to do that for you. If you don't use an automation program like GoHighLevel or Zapier, you could do it in the email client. I will be honest, I actually said this to Jennifer when I got here. I am tech savvy with a lot of things, but not with actual technology. So I can manipulate my conversations with AI. I can put together an AI workflow. Unless the AI building agent, which like GoHighLevel has a AI building agent, you can actually build your AI agent. I wouldn't be able to tell you how to actually build an AI agent without going through the process on YouTube, which is something I am training myself to do. So that question is slightly above my pay grade, but I would not do that with chat. I would do that inside of my email client. So if it's Gmail, if it's thank you. Yeah. And if it's a work related email, you may have limitations based on administration and your tech team. So this is what my sorry, I'm doing it again. I'm standing in front of it, but this is what my ChatGPT looks like. So you can see I have a slew of stuff to the left. I'm sorry, it's still a little blurry, but I'm afraid to touch that. So you can see here I have the Sparks SOP assistant. So my whole team, well, my management team has access to that, and that's where we write any of our standard operating procedures for the team. I also have my fashion outfit advice section and my gardening gurus. So those are some custom chats.
Those type of folders, whatever you have, that has to be purchased by the more advanced program?
I do have the Teams level, so I have the paid program. If you're using free, you will have limitations. I think it's worth it to buy even just one seat for ChatGPT so that you have access to the latest processor. So as you can see here, mine says ChatGPT 4.0. If you drop down, all of the different processors here to give you different things that you can do. I use 4.0 because it's just easy. It gives me the best. I don't do any coding. Like I said, That's not my thing. I am the psychology of marketing, not the coding and the tech side of marketing. So you can use all the different models there. So for the project question, kind of going back in, so if it is a custom GPT that you use, you can see I haven't renamed some of these, but the photo tips is actually like the fashion and outfit one. I can't move that into a project because technically I don't own that GPT. It's not mine. So like I said, these are when you're using someone else's custom GPT, these are for light things. These are for fun things. These are for, does this outfit look right? What should I pair this shirt with? Can you help me find? And I will tell you that that one cannot help you find anything on the internet. Okay, it cannot. It gives me links all the time. Yeah, for dead links, things that don't exist. And like that shirt is lovely, but it sold out like 5 years ago. Like that's not going to help. And again, for the gardening, it's still one of those things. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know what you're talking about. I was asking about placement for a particular plant. And then my other favorite was I'm really big on native plants, and I was like, that's not a native plant to Rhode Island. And it was like, oh no, that's a native plant to the Northeast in general, but it was really like Western New York. And I was like, I'm gonna stop you right there. We're talking native to Rhode Island. That's what I want right now. If I decide to go beyond that, that's fine. But I want you to focus on this and only give me options for this. And so we changed the conversation. So you do have to have a certain level of expertise. You can't just trust it to be able to teach you everything, do everything. If it doesn't seem right, you got to Google it, go back, check. Like I said, references, links, make sure it's got the right information. So what I do is if I were to open up Spark content creation from right here, it's going to show you all of the different chats that I have here. So I've got my small business content creation. Like I said, I'm also really polite to my chat, so I say please and thank you. I also have to ask it constantly. I don't want you to be mean, but I do want constructive criticism, and it'll say, okay, that's fine, because it'll just be like, oh, this looks great, everything's wonderful. I'm like, no. I need you to give me true information. It does, and it does a really good job with that. So like I said, validate, but confirm. So you can see all of the different types of content that we plan out here: solar, HVAC, small business. I even have a TikTok channel that's specific to what I like to call non-aesthetic showing up. So one of my biggest challenges was I wasn't showing up because I didn't feel put together ever, because most days I don't have makeup on, my hair isn't done, and it's very like puffy and frizzy. I'm usually wearing shorts and a t-shirt in this weather. Oh, well, not this weather, it's too cold for that, but in the summer, I don't look like what you would think of when you think marketing aesthetic on Reels or TikTok. And so I started one, and my first one was in my bathrobe with my hair all just out, like fresh out of the shower. And I was just like, hey guys, I'm showing up because I never show up, and I feel really passionate about marketing, but I'm not showing up because I feel like I'm not good. I don't look good enough to be online. We're just gonna kill that, and it has been also the TikTok content planning. So that's like Spark-ish, but it's really me just playing around and building my my content. Assertive, it'll give me something that's a little bit bolder and a little bit more assertive. I like to take the tone of more educational and a little bit, we're just different speakers. And so it knows that, and it can kind of help with that. And then if I need something for the Spark brand voice, that voice is a little bit different too. All right, so does anybody have a question that they want me to put into one of the into ChatGPT to ask and see if we can get an answer out of it? Anybody online?
No one else.
Yeah.
No, nothing in the chat.
Okay. God.
So, a video script for a short guided meditation. Act like a meditation practitioner. I'd like a 10-minute script. Well, sorry.
Sorry, what was it? Meditation practitioner.
Practitioner. I'd like a 10-minute script for a meditation that focuses on self-yourself. Now that tone to be
I'm spelling meditation wrong like every time. That focuses on, is that what you said?
self-acceptance.
Self-acceptance. And what was the last thing? The
The
tone.
tone would be informal.
All right, so bear with me because it's my Grammarly is gonna show up and be like, you did not type any of that in correctly. All right, so let's see what we've got here. Sure, here's a 10-minute informal guided meditation script focused on self-acceptance, delivered in a voice of warm, grounded meditation practitioner who's more like a wise friend than a spiritual guru. Is that what you were hoping for? So this is where you might say, okay, I actually want to be a spiritual guru, or I want this to be a little bit more lofty. I'd like it to be a little bit more, I'd like to back up a little. Let's make it a little cooler, or let's make it even more warmer, and you can kind of give it like an attitude and more personality here. So we've got a, hey, welcome, glad you're here. Take a moment to get comfortable. All things I've heard in a wonderful guided meditation. Start with a light breath, big inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. What I say to my daughter every night at bedtime, close your eyes, well, I say close your mouth, but close your eyes, close your mouth, shh, and breathe. So it works a little bit. It's usually when she's really, really up and so let your shoulders drop, unclench, wonderful. That's all pretty normal. So this is, it's pretty basic, right? But this is pretty basic. So what you would do now is go in and make it your own. So you would take it a little bit further. You would say, this is great from minute 3 to 6. I really don't like this part. I really want you to do this for me. And I could show you what I do with my own ChatGPT, but we're also pushing towards time. And I haven't even talked about GoHighLevel yet. So we're going to jump out of here and go back to our conversation. But thank you for contributing. Like I said, I can go to my own, but and that's what I do a lot with mine is like, that's not me. And that's not me. Let's make the tone a little bit different, or I would never say that. Can you come up with something else? And we have that conversation all the time. Why did that? Oh, sorry, guys. There we go. Okay. So just something to think about is what part of your current marketing system is broken or bottlenecked. So as we switch from ChatGPT to GoHighLevel, we're going to talk a little bit more about your automations. And this is a space where if you're thinking about something that isn't working for you, maybe you have no problem getting your content written, but actually posting it is a completely different story. If you're not familiar with a lot of the different options out there, you can have Buffer, Hootsuite, you can have GoHighLevel, you can have a dozen types of different posting programs. You can also post or schedule directly through Meta Suites. But that's just one example. There's also things like, are you able to answer the phone? Is your website form working? When somebody puts in a form on your website, do they actually get something back? More than just a thank you page, do they get an email? Do they get the next steps? Do they get an opportunity to schedule with you without you having to pick up the phone and talk to them? Many times we hear, I don't need help with leads. I have plenty of leads. I just need help keeping up with them. So this is kind of what we use GoHighLevel for. When we hear this in a conversation, you've got your marketing portion, but also what is that follow-up look like? So you've taken them through, you figured out who you are, you're speaking to them online, everything's golden. They click, they try to become a customer, and they go into the internet ether. You never hear from them again. So 62% of local calls never get answered. And most of those people will never call that number back. I have plenty of examples for this for time. I'm not going to go through them, but just know that Alicia and I both have personal experience with this. So this is very busy Veronica. She's a florist. Alicia called a florist when she was in the middle of her wedding planning. This was 4 years ago. But is there anything more frustrating than spending money on marketing and then losing the sale? So you've put all this time, energy, and maybe ad budget into your marketing, but you don't get to the phone when they call you. You've got Google Ads running, they call, you can't get to the phone because you're doing the works, nobody there to answer the phone. You've lost that sale because they're going to go on to the next person. One of my favorite features of GoHighLevel, and there's a couple other programs that do this, but GoHighLevel is the one that I like and that we use, is an automated text back. We call it missed call text back. So somebody calls your phone, you miss the call, they get an automatic text message from you, just like you see here, where it says, hi, so-and-so got your call. Sorry, I missed you. You can, this is general you can make it whatever you want, but you're basically just saying, I'm not available, but I'd love to continue this conversation. Alicia did this with a limo company. She texted back immediately, and Alicia stopped in her tracks. She was like, okay, great. I'm going to wait for this woman to get me the quote. She was the first person to respond to me. Everybody else did not respond. And that woman, I believe, ended up landing the sale because she was the first person that Alicia was like, great, good quote, good customer service. I'm going to stop here. Because what happens if somebody doesn't get a hold of you when they call? They move on to the next person on Google and they just keep going. And by the time you get a chance to call them back, they're like, oh, thanks, I found someone. And we see that all the time with our HVAC clients too. Another option is voice AI. So the phone number down here is 401-303-1915. And you will speak to Samantha. And I do encourage you to screenshot or take that. Oh, am I losing internet? Oh, fun. So I believe it's this one. I do encourage you to test that number and test a conversation with Samantha. We have had plenty of our business partners, people that we do work with regularly, talk to Samantha and then get through to us. You don't have to do it right now because I'm here. So give me like, an hour. And what'll happen is Samantha will have a conversation with you and she'll either try to transfer the call to me, or she'll let you know that you'll call back and I'll get an email within about 10 minutes or so. The lead connector will act right away, but if you're like, I don't want to be connected right now, I'll get a little notification in my GoHighLevel app and I'll call you back right away. So
people know who's speaking to the AI.
Samantha will tell you this is the Spark Marketing AI assistant. And I always encourage you, do not pretend, do not try. People will get very angry with you. Just let them know that they're speaking to an AI agent. If they don't want to speak to an AI agent, they'll hang up the phone, and that's not your problem. There's plenty of people out there that are going to be fine with it, and there's plenty of people out there that aren't. And if you're scared of an AI agent, you're going to be in trouble in a few years. You'll be in trouble now. Yeah, so we have some great conversations. Like I said, it also saves me a ton of time not having to pick up the phone for every one of those Google calls, because they're getting really good at finding, like, we're in one of our things is an HVAC. And so every time I Google the number that shows up, it's also an HVAC company. And I'm like, I don't want to answer the phone for this. Like, I don't have time for this. So hopefully. So this is Fencing Frank, and he's going to give us a couple of examples. This is your classic owner operator. He is on the job. He is doing the work. Roofers, fence, landscaping, things like that. Not answering the phone, don't have time for it. Usually might throw a card at like the neighbor's house or something like that. I get a lot of, after the storms, you get a lot of the tree companies with the printout, but they're also doing the work. And it's not just these guys, it's real estate agents, it's CPAs, it's anybody who really has to do the work and be the face of the business, which I do understand. So you can set up conversational AI sequences. So in Frank's example, he meets a hot lead. They're wonderful. He gives them a quote. He comes out to their house, does everything. They're gone. Never hears from them again. You can actually set it up so that at a certain point, after you've met with that lead, it knows you've sent the quote, because you send the email right through GoHighLevel or whatever client that you use, and it sets up an AI conversation with them, and it can actually pick up the conversation for you. So we set this up for a local solar company because we noticed that the conversations would kind of peter out and they would just never come back. So what we set up was like, okay, let's continue the conversation. So that it prompts them, have you found somebody? Do you still want to work with us? Whatever is on brand for you. And that's where that conversation, that part of like chat comes in, because once you get something like GoHighLevel, you have to fill it with content. It can't just be the standard content that's in there. That's ridiculous. You have to be the person, be the personality. And so we use these two programs together constantly to really refine our marketing for our clients. So this will have the whole conversation. You can set up these workflows. You have every kind of trigger you can think of. We've done an Instagram DM or comment campaign and a DM campaign where we're like comment busy and we'll automatically send you whatever. You see them all the time. I love them for like the parent stuff. I'm always like, oh yeah, they're doing the automatic thing. Like, let me have that. So I still have, she's still like 3, so I have plenty of questions. Yes.
Going in a different direction.
Okay.
This is for a profit organization.
Okay.
To a nonprofit. So I'm thinking, could I possibly reverse that, and instead of looking for that, my group would be like the sponsors. Can I put that in a sponsor or donation thing to follow up? They say, yeah, I want to.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I can put that.
Yeah, don't don't put guardrails on this and go, oh, this is for profit businesses. We work with a lot of nonprofits that we set up these kinds of workflows for, whether we do it through GoHighLevel or we do it in like MailChimp or whatever other kind of client. These are things you can do anywhere. Like I said, automations have been around for a really long time. If you're not comfortable with like letting MailChimp run the automations, you can set up Zapier to like make all the connections for you. I don't recommend it. I recommend using a client that works for this. And if it's something that you guys really want to talk about, Alicia and I would be happy to talk about it with you. But you can absolutely do it for donation campaigns, things like that. You can run social campaigns this way. You can, if you've never sold through DM before or you've never used DM to get clients, you can utilize it that way. There's the sky's the limit with the options. That's why I want to give you guys a free account so that you can play around with it and see what's going on. Because there's just so much you can do. And then this is just an example of following up with leads. So again, you can have all of these conversations with your leads. You can have them all happen automatically. Yes.
So will this integrate with Wix?
Yes. Yeah. I would have to double check. We do most of our integrations with WordPress because it's built in. It's built into the program itself. But we've never had a problem integrating with other websites. It just depends on kind of what tech is on the back end and whether for us it's whether or not you have a website person that we can work with to do some of the work. If it's not WordPress, we won't touch it because we've had some broken websites. You never want to break someone's website because we are not website people. So we stick in our lane, which is, social media and automations and things that relate to like lead gen and content production and things like that. But yes, it is usually universal. That you can work with. And a lot of stuff can be built within the system and then just send out to where it needs to. So like if you have a chat bot, it can be added to your Wix page, but it's all happening through the GoHighLevel platform.
Sorry.
Mhm.
Am I right to assume that MailChimp can do a lot of the same stuff?
MailChimp is still an email client. It can do quite a bit of the same things from an email perspective. GoHighLevel is much more robust. It's high level, but their website is GoHighLevel, so that's why I started calling it. I'll call it that forever. It's more robust in that there are a lot of other pieces and components to it. So if you were just looking to do email workflows, you can do that in almost any email client. But if you want to be able to integrate an email workflow with an Instagram campaign, with an SMS campaign, with an AI automated chatbot or, voice call. So I can leave a voicemail for anyone just by setting up that in the workflow. So if a lead comes in and I don't have, we did a Loom video. So we went and recorded Loom videos for companies that came to our webinar. We emailed them and then we sent them a voicemail. So we never actually called them because they haven't seen the Loom video yet. But we sent them a voicemail that said, hey, just sent you an email, has a Loom digital audit in it. You were on our call or our webinar. And this is me just saying it, so it doesn't sound like this at all, but we'd love to have a conversation. Don't forget to open your email and you can kind of go from there. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with GoHighLevel that you might not be able to do with MailChimp specifically. So that's where we use GoHighLevel. I will say it's not without its glitches. It can be very glitchy. It's a very robust program, but it is a very tech heavy program. And, so it's not always the most user friendly, but for the basics, it's very user friendly. And the demo that I have is actually just to a quick, because we're at 9:45. So I just want to show you what it looks like. And I use it the most. I mean, I use it for everything, but I use it the most for scheduling content. And I actually love how simple it is to schedule the content. You can build all of your ideas right in here. You can schedule everything. You can build all your drafts. So what I often do is I find a flow of like in ChatGPT, I just get into a groove of like, oh, this is a good one and this is a good one. And you just kind of keep that content production going because chat will try to stop you and be like, do you want me to create you a video script for this? Do you want me to create you an image in Canva? Don't let it create you an image in Canva. It can't do it. It's terrible. But I found that slows me down. So I just get all of the text in there and then I decide what I want to do. Do I want it to be an image? Do I want it to be a video? So like if I go to my view here and I change it to my draft posts, which is a custom view you have to set up, but it's an option. Everything is very customizable and that's both a blessing and a curse because it doesn't have a lot of presets. So you'll see I have a lot of content in here, written content, but I decide that day if it's going to be a video. Do I feel like showing up on camera? Or am I going to am I going to pop into Canva and make a quick little banner? What is it going to be? Or am I going to play around with AI and let it make something for me? So you also can get statistics. That's limited. It's not as good as like Buffer does a wonderful job of building reports and creating statistics for you. But honestly, for us as a agency, we found that our clients don't really look at them. So we're better off just sending them a quick report that says everything looks great. Here's your screenshot. And then having our once a month meeting with them to say, here's how great everything looks and why. So the social planner's here, and then you have all of your different conversations. So this one isn't as planned out as like our, particularly right now, our one of our focuses is the HVAC and home services industries. So that's going to be a little bit more robust. If I click into some of these, you'll see that the opportunities are kind of all over the place. But this is kind of, you can set up your own pipeline. So it's also a CRM sales tool. You can set up your own pipelines, set up everything. Again, highly customizable, very few presets. So if you want something done for you, your best bet is to find someone that can help you do it and set it up through this program. It's also a very cost-effective program, which is why we like it. But unless you are comfortable with tech, or at least learning it, like you're not afraid to go to Google and say, how do I do this? Because that's how I learned 90% of it, then you're going to struggle. But we do set this up with our clients and go through how to use it. So you've got your opportunities. So this is a standard pipeline. You can also just pull people up by contacts, which I tend to do a lot. So you see all these different contacts here. The calendar feature. So just like Calendly, you can get rid of Calendly. You can get rid of, well, I have a whole email about all of the different programs you can get rid of that are currently leaving my mind, and I need to leave time for questions. So you have your marketing, which I showed you, and then you have your automations, which is all your workflows, your forms, things like that, and you kind of set everything up, and it's a little crazy looking, but when you kind of go into it, you'll see like we have an internal notification. So if somebody comments on a particular piece, or somebody asks for an unsubscribe, which we enjoy because we're like, yeah, go. You're not a client, clearly. Then we get a notification for that so that we can make sure that we remove them from every workflow. Or if it's an Instagram like DM comment type thing, we can make sure that we get right back to them, or make sure that our AI is getting back to them the right way. So these are all, it's not opening. So I'm just going to pop over back over here to the slides and make sure that we wrap this up. So what to automate first, the activity that I have planned here, I'm gonna let you guys do on your own. Basically, we recommend missed call text back as one of your first automations if you are in a position of actively missing calls, because it's the most helpful for helping capture those people. Some sort of lead nurturing sequence, whether it's done through email or SMS. So if you have an auto form responder, I can't tell you the number of websites I go on. I'm like looking for a service, and I send them my contact information, and the thank you page pops up. And then nothing. I don't get an email. I don't get anything. I don't get an offer for an appointment. I never get a phone call. So making sure that you have some sort of lead nurturing, some sort of sequence, and an auto responder that actually goes out after that. I do love GoHighLevel's review requests, reminders, and their AI answers. So it will automatically answer your Google profile reviews if you have it set up that way. And every time we get a review and we look at the answer that GoHighLevel provides, I'm like, that's better than anything I would have written. It's perfect. Like it's I don't know how they do it, but they do it. And then your marketing content. So you can automate all of your marketing content. So you're creating it in process with your ChatGPT that you finessed, and it sounds like you, and then you edit it heavily to make sure it is you before you send it out. And you're scheduling it through GoHighLevel so that everything is set up and you can batch your content and get it out the door. So you're only sitting down once a month rather than every day. So if you have any of these automations in your business already, that's awesome. If you have one that you think would save you the most time, just something to think about. We're going to skip the activity because I did the thing I promised not to do, which was talk too much. So you combine all of these tools for a full system. So you're using your ChatGPT to get people to your website. Once they're on your website, they're filling out the form. They're like, yeah, I want to work with you. You're following up with them. They're getting an auto text message. They're getting an appointment reminder. They're getting an email that goes out with value adds and frequently asked questions. And honestly, a lot of the stuff that I'm probably going to send you guys after this. And so you're getting a chance to follow up with them and build that relationship before anybody else gets the chance to. So that's where we combine the power of large language models like ChatGPT with the power of automations like GoHighLevel or Zapier to help streamline your business, make things better for you and with you, and really just like align everything so that you can focus on the parts of your business that you love and not the parts of your business that you don't love. So we'll get you a free pre-built account in a follow-up call. What I'll do is I'll send out, we have a GoHighLevel guide. You do have to put your email in. Nobody's going to bother you from GoHighLevel. That's not their thing. That's our thing. We'll bother you until you tell us to stop. I promise it will all be valuable content. It's not just a sales pitch. This is hopefully you've gotten a lot of valuable content out of me speaking as fast as I can for the last 45 minutes. But if if there's any questions or anything that you want to learn more about, we're going to send a lot of information after, not just I have some prompts, I have some tools and a lot of variety of things. I'm going to stop for a moment because I promised to leave space for questions. No worries.
So for those who are in the Zoom, I did ask that you put your questions in the chat, just because I have the volume off so you don't hear this terrible echo, which I just turned back on. So put your questions in there and I'll read those out. Those of you who are in the room, does anybody have questions? It was a lot of content. It was a lot of,
Sorry.
it took me a few minutes to understand what you're talking about when you said your client. I was like, oh, that's your program.
Sorry.
So, does anybody have any questions for Nicole? Even if they're, sort of basic.
Oh yeah.
I
Yes.
have a question.
Yes, absolutely.
So, I have an understanding of what GoHighLevel is, but if somebody wants to use this and isn't really ready to say commit to the full, like,
Oh yeah.
can they do it piecemeal? Like, I'm gonna let
Absolutely.
GoHighLevel take over the email marketing
Yes.
or this, right?
Yeah.
So it's not something like if you love your website, you don't have to just it's
No.
the ability to
It
host
can
your
host, yeah,
website, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So we don't host through there, and we have slowly adapted each piece as we go. So like we started with, we actually didn't move the things out of Buffer for a while because it didn't have statistics that we liked. And then when we realized that like it wasn't going to matter at the end of the day, we were like, okay, cool, let's move everything under one umbrella. We started with the AI voice pretty quickly because it's just so cool. So like I said, 401-303-1915, give it a call and talk to Samantha. You don't have to replace all your phone lines. You can have one dedicated line because you do have to set up a specific phone number for your AI. You can call forward, but it does get a little tricky. But if you wanted something that you could give to people so that you don't have to talk to the bots, then that's something that you could do specifically for that purpose. Or if you're just looking to have like the missed call text back piece, you can do that. And we actually will break pieces out so that you don't have to have the whole thing. And then when you log into your free account, you'll have access to some things and you won't have access to everything. Because like if we gave you access to the SMS, you could go crazy and that costs us. So you have a certain number of SMS text messages that we will give you with a free account. I will say that the free account is about 90 days to give you time to play with it, decide what you like to do. If you want to keep it, you just let us know and we can either port it over to you or we can leave it on our file. And, if you wanted to work with us, we can help you out with that from that perspective. But it's not something that you are going to build up and then never have access to if you don't work with us. It's yours. We don't play that game. We don't do that. It's everything that you create through the Spark is yours. You have my LinkedIn, Alicia's LinkedIn, our email, website. The QR code will take you directly to the Spark Assist. The first block is scheduling, but everything else is more on there. Did I answer your question in full? Okay. I also do that where I'm like half answer and half answer something else that didn't get asked. Yes.
How important for a small business is it to have a website instead of just a Facebook?
It's very important. Always have a website. You do not own Facebook. They can shut your page down at any point. You do not own that data. You don't own the analytics. You don't own anything. Always have a website, and personally, always have an email list that you're continually building because third-party data is disappearing, and you really need to build up your first-party data. And what that means is Facebook cookies, tracking cookies, Google, and Apple, they're all, it's becoming harder and harder to track people online, which is great. But you need to build a relationship that you own with your clients. And so you want to have some sort of, like email database, a website, a client portal, something along those lines that is actually yours. But we never, ever, ever recommend just building a page and having that be it, because once that page is gone, it's gone, and you might not be able to get it back. Sorry.
And I can say from a sort of global thing, if you don't have a website, we often hear from the general public that then it's not legitimate.
Yeah.
Business is not legitimate.
It does lead to some challenges with that too, absolutely. So if I can't find you, like if I'm looking for a service and I can't find you on Google, and then when I go to Google, your Google business profile takes me to Facebook. Unless you're a restaurant, I'm kind of like, oh, I don't know if that's the direction I want to go. It really, it does depend on what your business is. But we, I mean, 99.99% of the time want to see a website of some sort. Because the other thing is too, if you're building, you can do a lot with advertising on Facebook, but if you are like to get people who are interacting with your page. But if you want to really make sure that people are looking for you and to work with you, without a website, you wouldn't really know unless they're DMing you or leaving comments to say they want to work with you. So we prefer websites for traffic and things like that.
Any other questions? I don't have anything else online. I do have a note from Chris Brook that he wants to talk to you at the end of August.
Excellent.
Yes, go ahead.
I want to know about them.
Nope, I've got nothing.
So I'm intrigued by the missed call automatic text back, because I found that I don't answer my business line 99% of the time, and I think they give you voicemail, of course I return it, because it's telemarketing.
Yes. Yeah.
And so and I don't respond, because if you answer the call, they know the number's legit, yeah. So does this automatic text back create more of a circle where you're getting more telemarketers because they have an answer?
No, so the missed call text back doesn't answer the phone, and the AI voice agent, we haven't necessarily found that we get more telemarketers, but we're still not having to deal with them.
Okay.
So they're two different systems. The AI voice agent is for us is Samantha, our marketing assistant.
About the text.
Right.
Yeah.
So what happens is if it's a legitimate, like, they do have to be using a cell phone in order to get the text back, obviously. But most of us do these days. But most telemarketers aren't using a cell phone.
They're robocalls.
Yeah. So they're not going to get the text back. It's just, it's going to show up on your phone as a missed call. For them, it's not, the call's never going to actually connect. The system will still attempt to send the text message. And if you were to log in and you saw it in your GoHighLevel database, it would just, most of the time, if it's a landline of some sort, it'll just say that the DND, so the do not disturb, was enabled by the customer. And that just means it was a landline and they couldn't get through.
Okay.
So it does help from that perspective. But there's nothing like watching two bots have a conversation and getting to see the printout and laughing about it at the end. So yeah, it's very entertaining. Yeah, so but those are both options for not having to have those conversations with telemarketers. I mean, we do get a lot of telemarketer calls, but we're very active online as well, and all of our everything, it's easy to find us and find our phone numbers. So I don't necessarily think we're just on lists everywhere. So we get a lot of cold emails, a lot of cold calls, all of that, and our Samantha takes care of most of it for us, and then has good, she really does have good conversations with people who actually want to work with us as well. And then I give them a quick call back and they're like, who was I talking to? or they know, and they're like, that was really cool, that was actually helpful. So yes,
Right, to assume that they have their own telephone number for the AI.
yes, so
It's not one of our numbers.
right. I think you had stepped out when I was talking about that in particular. Was I think thank you. I think what you have to do is forward a business number. So you would have to forward a business number to their AI number, but in order to be FCC compliant, you have to buy, like you have to get a number through them. So that's one of it is a little challenging. We'll admit, it takes some time. So don't think you're going to open this program and be able to send SMS right away, because you won't. You have to get an approved number so that they know that you are a legitimate person. You have to give them some information like your EIN and things like that.
And how much is that?
So to set it up in here, it's actually when you get your free program, I believe it's $1, but you're not paying it, the Spark is paying it. Like I said, you know, this is free. So when we do this in like if we do like we do HVAC and solar webinars constantly, we charge the $1 to make sure that someone is serious about it. You guys are my chamber friends. I'm not going to charge you for this. We just let you let you try it out for free, and we pay the $1. It's $1. At the end of the day, it's not a big deal. So if you like it and you're going to send lots of messages, there is a fee. You can, I forget what we set the limit to, 50, maybe 100. It costs us like a penny a message. But if you're going to send tons of text messages, then it's whatever, like I said, it's a penny a message. You set a limit, and that's what it'll do for you. It'll go to that limit.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it there. I did put a note in the chat that everyone will receive a follow-up email, a link to the recording, as well as info on the GoHighLevel account and a couple of other things from Nicole. Thank you all for attending. If you are not on our email list, please let me know. I can put my email in the chat so that you have that. And we will see you soon. Stay tuned. There are some other great AI conversations coming up, as well as some mediation in-person kind of things as well. So have a great weekend, and
Thank you, online people. And thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Nicole. Great job. She covered like 4 hours worth of
So sorry.
material.
Bad habit of mine. Start talking and don't stop.
Thank you.
All right, excellent. Thank you so very much. And I will answer any questions